Hi guys, Mrs. Harris here. Today is Monday, April 6th. Today in biology, we are going to be going over ways that the earth has reshaped. Now, if we think about that, what could be some ways that they could reshape? People cutting trees down would be an example, or people creating roads would be another example. That would be a big difference on how the earth is shaped. So, I want you guys to think about some other ways that people have altered the Earth's surface and how that's affected the natural world. So we're going to read this. You guys are going to have some questions to go along with it. You guys do have access to Science World now. I had sent you the link in your email, and then the password to get in is Presley1. So you guys will be able to read and access this article for the questions. So let's start reading this. Around the globe, mining has carved massive holes into the Earth's surface. In other places, huge mounds of trash tower several stories high. Tangles of roads crisscross the ground, and the land once covered with trees have been stripped bare. Humans' impact on the Earth's landscape is staggering, but the extent of these changes can be hard to see without the bird's eye view. So you can't see them being here on Earth. However, as you guys can see in Google Earth, you can see the bird's eye view of it. Observing the Earth from high above helps us identify patterns that we wouldn't see if we were just standing on the ground, says Ruth DeFries, an ecologist at the Columbia University in New York City. She analyzes satellite photos to learn how much of the Earth's surface is covered with forests, farmlands, and cities. I think that would be a pretty cool job to do. Technology has allowed humans to make big changes to the planet's surface at a similar scale as geological forces like volcanoes and earthquakes, says DeFries. Some geologists have even proposed that we're living in a new geological epoch called the Anthropocene. The name for this suggested unit of time comes from the Greek word man, anthropo, and new, scene. Take a look at some of the dramatic ways people have reshaped the Earth's landscape and tolls these changes have had on the environment. So you guys will be able to view those pictures whenever you go ahead and log on to Scholastic Science World. So Diamond Mine. The Akati Diamond Mine is located in Canada, about 190 kilometers or 120 miles from the Arctic Circle. To reach diamond deposits, workers use machinery to dig deep open pits. Akati produces about 7.5 million carats of diamonds each year, valued at about $45 billion. But removing the precious stones comes to a cost. So how could that be? How could that come to a cost to the world? Well, we're going to figure it out. But removing the stones come at a cost. The pit creates barriers for migrating caribou herds moving across the land. Since 1986, a year after miners began prospecting the area, the animals' numbers have declined by 96%. And it also had affected the people who relied on the animal for food and other uses. So I would assume, with the big pits being there, that the caribou, as they are migrating across the land, would fall into them and be unable to get out of the hole. So therefore, the population has been decreasing. So that is the Akati Diamond Mine in Canada. Let's read about the piles of waste. Starting in the 1950s, the Oxford Energy Company dumped as many as 20,000 scrap tires each day at a site on the outskirts of Wesley, California. It became known as the Oxford Tire Pile. By 1997, the pile had grown to many millions of tires. That same year, it was struck by lightning, which set the tires ablaze. Extinguishing the flames took weeks. But the pile likely caused problems long before the fire. When you introduce a pile of tires like this, says DeFries, It interrupts the natural ecosystem. She believes that the huge amount of pollution on the site probably drove local wildlife out of the area. So wildlife that lived there had to relocate due to all the pollution of the tires. So highway and roads, as I was saying, people creating highways and roads interrupt the habitat of animals. And unfortunately, they're used to being in that area. So to get from one side of the road to the other, which was initially their entire habitat without the road coming through it, they are going to have to cross the road, which evidently they would end up getting hit. So the population in that area would decrease as well. So let's read about highways and roads. The photo above, which you guys, like I said, will be able to look at that in Scholastic World, depicts a spaghetti junction, a nickname given to a complex interweaving system of highways. This one is located in Madrid, Spain. Roads like these make it easier for people to get around, but harder for animals to do the same. Roadways block animals from reaching their parts of their habitat and increase the chances of vehicles hitting them. Constructing wildlife crossings like bridges and tunnels may allow animals to safely navigate around and across the roads. But for DeFries, this photo tells a bigger story. To me, it portrays urban life, she says. Cities require many resources, and all of these roads are needed to bring those resources from someplace else. Those places are, therefore, impacted by the city. So even though it interrupts the habitat of animals, the cities require it because they need goods that are coming from other parts of the world. And then the last one, destroyed forest. In 2010, paper manufacturer Asia Pulp and Paper logged this forest in a Kuantan Mudik region of Indonesia. Many species of animals, including the endangered tiger, lives there. Removing huge patches of the tree is called clear cutting. It can have a devastating effect on wildlife, explains DeFries. It destroyed animals' habitats or natural homes, and where there's a fragment of the forest, it disrupts the animal's ability to move across the land to find food and mates, says DeFries. As a result, animal populations have declined. So you guys can look at the, there is a slideshow of the altering the landscapes. I want you guys to go ahead and look at that. And then some of the questions I want you guys to answer is, what does the Greek word Anthropocene mean? So it is in the passage, we read about it. Second question is, a Caudy diamond mine produces blank carats of diamonds each year. So I want you guys to reference the article that I had just read. Number 3, in blank, Oxford Energy Company was struck by lightning, which set tires ablaze. I want you to put a year in there. And what year did the Oxford Energy Company get struck by lightning and set the tires ablaze? Number 4, the spaghetti junction in Madrid, Spain, blocks animals from reaching parts of their blank and increases the chance of them getting hit. So I want you to fill that blank in. And then number 5 is just, what is clear cutting? We talked about what that was. It has something to do with trees. So I want you guys to go ahead and answer those questions. And then on Wednesday, we will come back and I will review those questions with you guys. And then we're going to read something called Monkey Crossings. It goes right with the Reshaping the Earth. So if you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. If not, I will see you on Wednesday for biology. Have a good day, guys. Bye.